I'm Jane Evans, and for the past 25 years, I've been working with people with a range of complex needs. Things like anxiety, self-sabotage, chronic lack of self-worth, and so much more. And at the same time, I've been working on myself because none of us come without a history. And what I'm excited to talk to you about today is something that I got trained in this year and I'm using with my clients, and I'm having really amazing results with it. So it's called quantum energy coaching. What does that mean? Well, it's tapping into something that we all have within us and that is energy. Now, I'm not talking about woo-woo energy, I'm talking about quantum physics. So quantum physics tells us that, inside of us, our emotions and everything that moves around inside of us has an electrical charge, so an electric magnetic field that we project out into the world. And actually that's what everything is made of. We're all electromagnetic beings, which is why sometimes when you walk into a room or even you pick up the phone from somebody, you just get a sense of, oh, this person, I don't like this person, or they're scaring me, or you get a sense of, oh, what a lovely person this is. And sometimes we think, oh, they have a nice voice. But actually what you're connecting with is the electromagnetic field that they project out into the world. So where does quantum energy coaching come into this? Well, Dr. Melanie Salmon, who was a general practitioner doctor in the UK for 30 years, and then also trained to be a Gestalt, let's say it correctly, therapist, she came to a point in her practice where she felt that, just handing out tablets all the time and having a kind of revolving door for many of her patients just did not sit well with her. And she began to learn more and more about trauma. And so she went in search of something she could give to people that would have a lasting effect and a lasting impact. And she came across the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he's a cellular biologist. And she started reading about how our internal and external environments actually switch on or leave our genes dormant. So they either activate things and networks of genes in our bodies for things, or they leave them just sleeping and they don't switch them on. So she put that in her pot of knowledge, and then she went on to be deeply curious about different things like heart-brain coherence. So how we can get the heart-brain, because we have a mass of neurons in our heart as well as in our brain and also in our gut. So how she could understand more about the work of the Heart Math Institute and integrate that into quantum energy coaching. That wasn't enough. She then wanted to really understand how she could create the initial process of discovering, well, what really does lie below the surface for people who repeatedly have anxious thoughts about things that they kind of know are illogical, but they can't stop them. People who repeatedly have recurring illnesses, people who appear maybe confident but were coming to her saying, I've got terrible self-confidence, it's making me very stressed, and a whole range of other things. So Melanie pulled together quantum physics and quantum energy, neuroscience, which shows that it's entirely possible to wire in new pathways in our brain and build a different brain, if you like, in certain areas in certain ways. Epigenetics, so switching on or leaving dormant our genes, the powerful state that we can create in our brains when our heart and our brain talk together, and then quantum physics. And with that, she has developed this amazingly powerful but seemingly simple technique, which I'm now using with my clients. And I've addressed issues with them such as crippling anxiety, where they just cannot enjoy any aspect of their lives because they're always worrying about the illogical what ifs of any situation. I've worked with people who have this terrible dissatisfaction with themselves and with life. So always feeling that they're not doing enough, they're not doing things well enough. So really what we're looking at is perfectionism. I've worked with people around their sense of not being a good enough parent, and also trying to protect themselves from criticisms they get when they try to be the kind of parent that they wish to be, and with really poor relationships with the body, and maybe disturbed eating because of the relationship, a negative relationship with the body, and so much more. And Melanie, she trained us all, and she has used quantum energy coaching with absolutely everything: phobias, serious illnesses, terrible traumas from the past. And she only reports, and I can only report, that it definitely changes things for good. So it's not like other things that you may have tried before, where when you're with the therapist or you're with whoever it is who's helping you at the time, yes, it definitely feels better. And that might continue for a few days, but it doesn't last. With quantum energy coaching, because you create new beliefs about whatever it is that's really troubling you, bothering you, or just tripping you up in daily life repeatedly, then through this process, we get to install them in your subconscious thinking. So we have a conscious mind, which might say, I'm going to do a really great presentation today because I'm very well prepared. I know my topic, or a fantastic job interview because I'm very confident that I'm the right person for this job. And then, the night before, or maybe several nights before, your subconscious thinking starts dropping in all those really, really unhelpful beliefs and emotions, and maybe memories from the past of, well, but really, will you? I bet you won't get your words out, or I bet you'll forget something, or, well, you never sound, you've got that funny sound in your voice when you're presenting. That's your subconscious mind, and it's the one that can completely reduce us and take us out of our logical mind and just ruin our lives, quite frankly. So our logical mind and our logical thinking only runs 5 to 10% of the time. Our subconscious beliefs, thinkings, and memories runs 90 to 95% of the time. So although we like to think we're very logical, rational beings, and at times we certainly are, what tends to ruin that and make life so tough is our subconscious thinking. But that's where quantum energy coaching comes in so brilliantly, because that's exactly through this process and tapping into all this amazing science, we can install new permanent beliefs in your subconscious thinking, relieving you of all these barriers and blocks and things that sometimes make you really ill. They'll just be gone. And in some people that can be 1 or 2 sessions, in other people that can be up to 6 sessions. It just really depends on how much stuff you bring and how much you want to be rid of. Now, just before I go, I'll tell you of an amazing session that I had with Melanie myself recently. So although I deliver quantum energy coaching, as part of that, I'm having ongoing work myself so that I know that I'm really clear of stuff and I'm in an amazing place to help all of you. In that session, we realized that I have this repeat experience every year of deep trauma based on true, actual, terrible events that happen 2 years in a row at exactly the same time of the year. So one year my beautiful brother died from suicide, and at the same time I was given a misdiagnosis of a terminal illness for my son. And then the following year, he had brain surgery and he nearly died in the process. So understandably, I hold a lot of trauma in my system around these things, which without me even thinking about it, just re-emerges at this time of the year. So in my session with Melanie, she recognized this as post-traumatic stress. And within that session, we were able to install some new subconscious beliefs about this. And I can say that from that session, I am now completely free of this horrible, repetitive process that makes me generally feel really ill every year. So that's how powerful this can be. Now, of course, we're all different, but everything I have focused on in sessions and my clients have focused on has been changed and improved in some way that just sets life on a very different course. So if you would like to know more, then please do visit my website, allthews.thejanevans.com. You can easily contact me that way, or by all means drop me an email, janeevans61@co.uk. And I really look forward to hearing from you and answering your questions, and hopefully getting you on a fantastic journey to clearing away those long held beliefs which just are not serving you anymore.